Hi folks, Job Lot Comics here. We're looking at another lost 70s Bronze Age title. This time we're looking at Midnight Tales. This is an anthology of horror stuff, because I'm doing a lot of horror stuff, because it's Halloween time soon, isn't it? And there's a fantastic cover here. You gotta love the covers on Midnight Tales. They were always really funny. They were always really well detailed. And they were always just magnificent to look at. This is issue 2 of the title, and it's from 1973. You'll notice, in fact, yep, there we go, Wayne Howard, who was behind Midnight Tales. He was the predominant artist on the title. No other people would contribute. I always associate Midnight Tales with Wayne Howard. You'll see Nicola Cootie's got a sort of, maybe a scripting credit there. And how Midnight Tales worked, it wasn't just like, the DC sort of anthologies where, or even the EC ones where they would just introduce the title. You would actually get a story with the Midnight Philosopher that would be the wraparound for the rest of the books. So you can see here, that's page 1, and then there's page 2. But you can see there's a lot of dialogue here. There's an actual story going on. And there you go. And then, you can see there's a kind of Egyptian theme going on here. And then you would get the first story. So it's a wee bit different from those usual ones where it was just, like the Crypt Keeper saying, "Oh, boys and girls, here's a story that'll make your toes curl." This actually, the Midnight Philosopher, who's the host, actually had, a sort of his own thing going on at the same time. So this is Wayne Howard and Cutie again doing this first story. There's usually 3 stories in it, and here's the first one. And of course, the theme for this one seems to be all sort of Egyptian stuff, yeah. And then once that story finished, it would go back to the wraparound story, yeah? And you would get more of that. And then you get your second story. And here we've got Joe Staton. And he's doing the artwork on this one here. And of course, you'll remember Nicola and Joe doing E-Man, which is another one of my favourite Charlton comics. E-Man ran, I think it was 10 issues it ran for. And then I think First Comics bought E-Man, and the same creative team took over on the second iteration of the character. So this is the second story. And then it would finish. And then it would go back to the wraparound, yeah? Absolute genius. Wayne Howard's art is phenomenal. I think he's one of the great underrated artists of the Bronze Age. I just absolutely love his stuff. And he was consistent on this book for ages and ages. It's just brilliant. I think his stuff's brilliant. And then, of course, because it's Charlton, you've got Tom Sutton here doing his thing. You gotta love Tom Sutton's artwork as well. I always feel Charlton as a company is just hugely underrated. I wish more people would read Charlton books. Go to your comic shop and see if you can find some old Charlton books to have a look at. I mean, look at Tom Sutton's artwork here. It's so good. It is so good. And then you get to the end of that, and we'll come back to the Philosopher and Arachne, and then even their little story, has a twist in the tail, sort of wrap up at the end. So good. This is issue 2 from 1973, in case I never told you that before. And then here's an advert advertising the rest of the Charlton horror books that were on display at your local newsstand. Ghost of Dr. Grave, Haunted, Ghost Manor, a favourite, Ghostly Tales, Ghostly Haunts. There was other ones as well. There's creepy things and stuff like that as well. Oh, sorry, jump scare. It is Halloween, And then back page. So there you go. Most notable on Midnight Tales, if you pick any of these up, is Wayne Howard's covers and his interior art. I just love his stuff. He was a phenomenal talent, incredibly underrated. The good thing about Charlton as well was it did give an awful lot of creative reign to the people that were writing and drawing. They all they cared about was getting those books out in time. They weren't really that bothered about what was in them. So you did get an awful lot of off-the-wall stuff, and it was made all the better for it. I wish more comic book companies would do that nowadays, but they don't. And that's the way that has gone. Look at that trade dress, isn't that phenomenal? I could look at that all day, but I'm not going to because this video is too long already and I dropped the phone. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Subscribe.